The first time Lena noticed him, he was fixing a vending machine. Not repairing it with tools or diagnostics like a trained technician, but talking to it. "Come on," the man murmured, tapping the side panel gently. "You know you don't want to do this today." The machine flickered. Then, with a soft whir, it dispensed 3 drinks in a row. Lena froze mid-step. She had been walking through Corridor B-17 of the Orion Research Station, a place where nothing unusual ever happened unless it was logged, authorized, and reviewed by at least 6 departments. Everything here followed protocol. Except him. He looked ordinary. Average height. Dark hair slightly messy. Wearing the standard gray maintenance uniform. No badge of distinction. No rank insignia. No indication he was anything more than a low-level worker. Yet the vending machine had just obeyed him. He picked up one of the drinks, turned, and caught her staring. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then he smiled. "Long day?" he asked. Lena blinked. "What did you just do?" He glanced at the machine like it was nothing special. "Fixed it." "That's not fixing," she said, stepping closer. "You didn't even open it." He shrugged. "Some things just need a little encouragement." That answer irritated her. Lena was one of the station's top xenotechnology analysts. She dealt with alien artifacts, unknown systems, and technologies that most people couldn't even comprehend. She didn't believe in vague explanations. "Machines don't respond to encouragement," she said firmly. He held her gaze, and for a split second, something strange flickered in his eyes, like light bending the wrong way. "Some do," he replied. Before she could press further, he handed her one of the drinks. "On the house," he said, then walked away. Lena stood there unsettled. She didn't know why, but something about him felt wrong. Not dangerous. Just impossible. Over the next few days, she began noticing him everywhere. In the control bay, casually adjusting a malfunctioning console without logging into the system. In the hydroponics lab, standing still among the plants as if listening to them. Even once, in the observation deck, staring out into deep space, not with curiosity but with familiarity. Each time, he behaved like he belonged. But no one else seemed to notice him. That bothered Lena the most. So she did what she always did when something didn't make sense. She investigated. His name, according to the station records, was Elias Verne. Assigned role, maintenance technician level 2. Background, minimal. Too minimal. No detailed history. No previous assignments. No training logs. Just a clean, blank record with a timestamp showing he had been transferred to Orion Station 6 months ago. That was impossible. Every crew member had a detailed file, especially on a high-security station like Orion. Yet Elias Verne was the ghost. Lena leaned back in her chair, staring at the screen. "Who are you?" she whispered. As if answering her, the lights flickered. Just for a second. Then stabilized. She found him again that evening. He was in the observation deck. Of course he was. The massive glass domes stretched above them, revealing an endless sea of stars. Nebulae shimmered in distant colors. A dying star pulsed softly on the horizon. Elias stood near the edge, hands behind his back. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said without turning. Lena stepped closer. "You knew I was here." "I always do." That sent a chill down her spine. She crossed her arms. "You're not in the system." He chuckled softly. "That's not entirely true." "It is," she insisted. "Your records are incomplete. Your presence here doesn't make sense." Now he turned. And for the first time, she saw something she couldn't explain. His expression wasn't defensive. It was tired. "You're very persistent," he said. "I'm very thorough." Silence lingered between them. Then he sighed. "All right," he said. "Ask your questions." Lena hesitated. She had prepared dozens of theories: alien infiltrator, rogue AI, unauthorized operative, but standing here, looking at him, none of them felt right. "Start with this," she said. "How did you fix that vending machine?" He smiled faintly. "I didn't fix it," he said. "I reminded it what it was supposed to do." "That's not how machines work." He stepped closer. "What if it is?" he asked. Before she could respond, he raised his hand and gently touched the glass of the observation dome. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the stars shifted. Lena's breath caught. It wasn't the universe moving. It was the glass. The reflections twisted, rearranging themselves into patterns, constellations she had never seen before. Geometric shapes that pulsed with faint light. "Do you see it?" Elias asked softly. "What is that?" "Language." Her heart pounded. "That's not a language." "It is," he said. "Just not one humans were meant to understand." The patterns faded, returning to normal starlight. Lena stepped back, shaken. "What are you?" she whispered. Elias looked at her, not with pride, not with menace, but with something like sadness. "I was hoping you wouldn't ask that," he said. The truth came out 3 days later. Not because he wanted it to, but because it couldn't stay hidden anymore. The alarm blared across the station. A deep, urgent sound that echoed through every corridor. Lena rushed to the command center, her mind racing. "What's happening?" she demanded. "Unknown signal detected," the commander replied. "Origin, outside the station." "It's massive." The main screen flickered to life, and Lena felt her stomach drop. A structure hung in space. Not a ship, not an asteroid. Something else. Something alive. It pulsed like a heartbeat, surrounded by shifting layers of energy. Tendrils of light extended outward, touching the edges of the station's sensors and distorting them. "What is that?" someone whispered. No one had an answer, except an observer. The voice came from behind them. Elias. Lena turned sharply. "You know what that is?" He stepped forward, his expression serious. "It's not here to attack," he said. "Not yet." "Not yet," the commander snapped. "What does that mean?" Elias looked at the screen. "It's evaluating you." The room fell silent. "Evaluating us for what?" Lena asked. Elias didn't answer immediately. When he did, his voice was quiet. "Whether you're worth keeping." Panic spread quickly. Weapons were activated. Shields were raised. But nothing worked. The structure ignored all attempts at communication, ignored all defensive measures. It simply watched. Lena found Elias again in the observation deck. "You knew this would happen," she said. "Yes." "And you didn't warn anyone?" He looked at her, conflicted. "I was hoping it wouldn't come here." "What is it?" she demanded. "What are you?" He closed his eyes for a moment, then finally said the words. "I'm one of them." The world seemed to stop. Lena stared at him. "No," she said. "That's not possible." "It is. You're human." "I'm wearing human." Her breath hitched. "That's not the same thing." He nodded. "I know." Silence stretched between them. Then Lena asked the question she feared most. "Why are you here?" Elias turned back to the stars. "To observe," he said. "To understand. To decide." "Decide what?" His answer came like a whisper. "Whether your species survives." Everything Lena believed shattered in that moment. "You're judging us?" she said, her voice rising. "Living among us, pretending to be one of us, just to decide if we deserve to exist." "It's not that simple," Elias said. "It sounds very simple." "It's not," he repeated. "You don't understand what's out there." "Then explain it to me." He hesitated. Then slowly, he reached out and touched her hand. The world vanished. Lena was no longer on the station. She stood in a vast, endless void. Stars burned and died around her in seconds. Galaxies collided like waves. Entire civilizations rose and fell in the blink of an eye. She saw beings of pure energy, worlds consumed by silence, species that had reached unimaginable heights, only to disappear without a trace. "This is the universe as we see it," Elias's voice echoed. She turned and saw him, but not as a human. He was something else. A shifting form of light and geometry, constantly changing, impossible to fully comprehend. "What are you?" she whispered. "We are the witnesses," he said. "We observe. We record. We decide." Decide what? Which civilizations continue and which ones end. Lena's heart pounded. Why? "Because unchecked growth leads to chaos," he said. "And chaos destroys everything." She shook her head. "That's not your decision to make. It has been for eons." "Then it's wrong." Elias watched her carefully. "Is it?" "Yes," she said firmly. "You don't get to decide who deserves to exist." "Then who does?" "No one." He tilted his head. "Then what stops a species from destroying everything?" Lena hesitated, then said, "We do." The vision faded. They were back in the observation deck. Lena pulled her hand away, breathing hard. "That thing out there," she said, pointing toward space. "It's here to erase us, isn't it?" "Yes." "And you were sent to decide whether to let it." He nodded. "Then decide," she said. "Right now." Elias looked at her. "You don't understand what you're asking." "I understand perfectly," she said. "You've been watching us for months. You've seen what we are. So decide." Silence. The station trembled slightly as the structure outside pulsed brighter. Time was running out. Elias closed his eyes. "I was supposed to remain impartial," he said, detached. "But you didn't." "No, why?" He opened his eyes. And for the first time, she saw something unmistakably human in them. "Because of you." Lena froze. "What?" "You showed me something I didn't expect," he said. "Hope." Her throat tightened. "That's not enough," she said. "Not to save an entire species." "No," he agreed. "It isn't." The station shook harder. Alarm screamed. "They're beginning the process," Elias said. Lena stepped closer. "Then stop them." "I can't." "Yes, you can." "It's not that simple." "Nothing ever is," she said. "But you still have to choose." Elias looked at her, then at the stars, then back at her. And in that moment, he made his decision. The structure outside the station flared with blinding light. Energy surged toward Orion Station. Crew members braced for impact. But it never came. Instead, the energy stopped, frozen in place, like time itself had paused. Inside the observation deck, Elias stood perfectly still. Lena watched in awe as his form began to change. Light leaked through his skin. His human shape flickered. "You're leaving," she said. "Yes." "Where?" "To them." "To stop this." "To try." Her chest tightened. "Will it work?" He hesitated. "I don't know." Lena stepped forward. "Then don't go." He smiled softly. "I have to." "Why?" "Because you were right," he said. "No one should decide who deserves to exist." The light around him intensified. "Elias, that's not my real name," he said gently. "I don't care." For a moment, everything was still. Then he said, "Goodbye, Lena." And he vanished. Outside, the structure pulsed violently. Then it collapsed. Not in destruction, but in retreat. The energy dissipated. The tendrils withdrew. And within seconds, it was gone. The station was safe. Humanity was safe. Weeks passed. Life returned to normal. Reports were written. The incident was classified. No one could explain what had happened, except Lena. But she never told anyone, because no one would believe her. Sometimes, she returned to the observation deck. She would stand there, staring out into the stars, waiting, hoping. One night, as she watched the endless expanse of space, the glass shimmered slightly. Just for a moment, the stars rearranged themselves into a familiar pattern. A message, not in words, but in meaning. I'm still here. Lena smiled. And for the first time since he left, she didn't feel alone.